Let's have some fun with autofill. Anytime that you're in an active cell, there's a little green box at the bottom called the fill handle. If you move your mouse and hover over it, your mouse becomes crosshairs, and then you can pull down the information. This then creates a little box here called the autofills option box. And we're going to look into some of the options that we have there. The first option here is copy cells, which, as you can see, just simply copies whatever data is in the cell and drags it down. If we come over here, drag the information down, and select Fill Series, Excel will fill the cells with a series, in this case adding by ones. You can also see that it keeps the formatting as well. Moving over one more column, if we select the Fill Formatting Only, you can see that it keeps the formatting, that yellow shading. However, it didn't copy any of the data in any of the other cells. And finally, if we come over here and select Fill Without Formatting, it will copy that 1 in each cell, but it keeps the formatting that was originally in each one of those cells. You can see that there's another option called the flash fill, and that uses data in adjacent columns to try and figure out what you want to fill the information with. That's a subject that's a little more advanced and probably for another video. So those are a few basic autofill options. Let's look at a few other helpful things. If you select 2 cells, Excel will try and figure out the pattern that you have in your numbers. In this case, 2 and 4, Excel recognizes that you're counting by 2s, and so it's going to keep counting by 2s. Same thing if you go backwards. Excel recognizes that the difference between 100 and 90 is -10, and it will subtract 10 from each row. Same thing if you wanted to count by 5s. So those were some pretty simple examples of autofill options. Excel has some other handy features when you have a date or a time. If you have a cell with a date and you pull that information down, Excel automatically assumes that you're going to want to increase by 1 day in each row. Same thing with time. It's going to add an hour to each instance. And if you wanted to do something less than an hour, you could simply highlight 2 cells and drag it down, and Excel will add 15 minutes in this case. There are certain text labels that Excel recognizes as well. So days of the week, if you pull that down, it's going to continue on with the pattern. Same thing with months. There is the autofill options box when you have a date, and it has a few more options than what we were looking at before. So let's look at 7/1/2019, and let's pull that information down. And you can see that it automatically fills the series. And we have some of the same options that we had before. But let's look at fill weekdays. This fill days just adds a day like it did. See? But fill weekdays, what that does is it's going to skip over weekends. So July 1st, 2019 is a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then instead of putting the 6th and 7th, which are a Saturday and Sunday, it skips it and puts a Monday. So this is really useful for workplace settings if you're just trying to get days Monday through Friday. The fill months option, rather than changing the day, it's the 1st of every month, it's going to just add 1 to the month. This works as well when you want to fill month ends. If you just click Fill Months, rather than doing the 31st of every month, because some months that doesn't exist, it will just do the last day of every month. And then finally, the Fill Years, as you can guess, rather than changing the month or the day, it's just going to change the years. Just a few other quick things. In all of the examples that we've done so far, we've used autofill for information being dragged down. You can also drag information across and have similar autofill options. One other quick trick that I kind of like, if you drag numbers down like we talked about, it assumes that you want to copy the cells. But if you hold the control button and then drag down, it will actually fill the series. So that's handy when you actually just want to number things really quickly without having to go into the box and click Fill Series. Excel is also going to repeat certain text patterns. If you want to just repeat ABCD, it can do that. And when you have text and numbers, Excel will keep the text and also increase the number. And there are certain other titles that Excel kind of recognizes as being common. So first quarter, if you drag that down, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, and then it repeats back to the first. These are just some of the autofill options that we have in Excel. You can click the link in the description below to download this workbook and play around with some of these things. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And be sure to subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with all of my videos. And until next time, go spreadsheet something awesome.